Hello, and welcome back. So, last night we finished the chapel, but I'm now starting to get a little idea of what we might be able to do. So I feel like up here it's just a bit out of place. Bear with. Yeah, so I feel like it's a bit out of place there. So I'm going to move it, and we're going to swap some things around. So, my thinking is, I quite like the way this looks. And I feel like maybe a little chapel hidden in there would be good. Good morning, Ben. How are you, bud? Nice to have you back. Yeah, so I'm thinking of maybe putting the chapel in here, and then this just ends up being car park and a bit of grass area. So I think we'll start off with that. But when doing so, we'll fly back over here. And we'll place our cell point building there for now. So I did originally like this idea, but coming to think of it, it looks like an awesome view from up here. But if you're actually farming, it just looks a bit out of place, just on the top of a hill. So for that matter, we're going to move it. And I'm feeling something similarly to having it like here. I think that could work better. So we'll get cracking. I say it's turned on the wrong thing there. We've crashed the software. There we go. Right. So we'll clear some area here so we can see what we're working with. I feel like it looks a bit more, yeah, shooted there. So obviously when you're back here in the field, then you'll see it, but it'll be behind the dealer. It's nice and hidden then from other sections. Like say when you're up here, you can see it, you know it's there. So with our cell point, it's a pain that you have to have these so wide. Yeah, right. We will take you off. We'll set this back to grass instead of the cell point thing. Okay. So I think the height-wise we're going to go slightly lower than where we need to, which is there. And we'll just flatten this out. Definitely liking the music change. I think the other one that we had was a bit too boring. A bit too calm and slow. Yeah, doing good, mate. Had a good night's sleep, and for once we're up. Kiwi, hello, how are we? I'm assuming for you, buddy, it is currently 8:40 PM. So thank you for coming back. Up a bit of this terrain as well. Okay. Looking promising. I feel like I want to keep that in, weirdly. There's a bit of a walkway in, and then I think if we grab this height, we can do something similarly to add our car park area in. It's not much, obviously, but it's going to be enough. Don't want to go too close, because we're going to have a bit of a grassy area as well. But it might look cool with a little bit of an incline. So obviously this is where we're going to have our car park way up. That's my thought process. Let's clear this, we'll have a better look at what we're doing here then. Yeah, it was weird because last night I placed it and I was like, I don't really... 8:30. Oh, there we are. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with where we placed it at the top there. I feel now that you can come in, you can drive through. And then for like what we have, what did we do? Gravel the last time. Like if we had just a bit smaller of a walk path, that could connect up to there, and then you can have your walk path then down that way. So we'll make this a bit wider at the front. In theory, could make this a bit bigger, just for the outside. Like so. And you can have your main area there with then you shoot off, and that's your way in. And then we'll swap that to grass. And you have a nice area then too, you'll have the gravestones then. Nice little fence there would be good. You do, bud. I always wanted to make one for where my mate is. He's in Taranaki, Midhurst then. And he's asked me many times, can I make his area? And I've just never come around to. I swear I did start at one point, but at the time I couldn't get the correct stuff. If we grab our gravel small again. Well, that's up until here. And then we'll have a nice car parking area here then. I'm going to end it just before here. Just to have a little bit extra. break up the textures a bit. Ooh. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to get back to you on that. And then we will limit this one to gravel small. Some variation. It's just to stop it being a bland car park, really. So you got loads of different stuff there. So if we go asphalt cracks. I think that suits a bit better being in there. Especially when you're coming in from underneath, then you'll just have a car park there. So we can smoothen this bit out a bit more. So a good tip to do is with hair banks, you can just come back out with them. And it'll blend it out more with what's underneath. So it doesn't look as dominant then. Phone's active today. So let's get some grass back down, shall we? Like, you can make it a lot easier where you can just do grass and then just, you don't have to worry about it going where you don't want it to. Like so. It looks a bit more suited, yeah, 100%. So you can't fault that. I feel like for... Really? The tree's collecting that? For here. Either like a small fence line across to this point would be alright. Like across to here, and then leaving the rest of it open then. And then, or in theory, we should actually start it from this end. To go that way. Then around. Loop to there. We could just go straight then to the hedge. And then we'll have, I'll make a new wall that'll run from down to there, to the little gateway, to then here, that'll wrap around and out, down that way. And the same way from here, I'll put a pillar, and we'll have another little wrap around wall down to here. Bear with me 2 seconds. We have returned. I'll tell you one thing I've come back into having a lot of now is cups of tea from coffee. Oh. I think that'll be a good plan for today. Maybe try and do this area and then start work on the dealer. Fine then. Oh, let's not move the chapel. Let's lock that transform. We don't need to touch it. Okay. I know I've gone back to doing these manual, but that's mainly because I couldn't get it to rotate as I wanted. With the spline tool. What do you reckon? Because instead of it being at the top up there then, hidden. Could probably put some more trees along here as well. So like a lot more secluded. And then obviously you see this mud grass. It's basically just as where it's been worn down over time, but we're going to put in smaller grass there. Very hidden detail. I'm going to have to readjust all of these for the right height, but that's something that we can do in a second. Yeah, so you can see they're starting to dip down a bit, but that's fine, we can just do this. We'll twist that one back. So see, when you start getting to this point then, they're going to start rising again. I don't know why I keep talking like I'm doing it like it's a tutorial series. Basically just world design, I think, more so than anything. Yeah. Bring these out. So what's everyone doing with their Friday? Friday's always a good party day, I find. Well, not that I ever go out, but... Yeah, so this gives us the problem I thought we'd have. Hey bud, how you doing? I know, it's just typical, innit? I did come back on after. And I did some more stuff last night then. Yeah, what do you... I think you missed us doing this layout. The houses, silage bunkers, shed. We added in dirt paths around the fields. A new lane that would have come up behind the chapel, but I've... Yeah, I got a bit bored. Well, not bored. I just didn't like where it was sat, just out the way at the top here. So this area is now going to become the sell point instead. We also did this small holding with 3 fields, as well as these new fields added in there. And obviously we just touched up down here. I'm the same, don't worry about it. Yeah, so that's all been done. And then, yeah, last night's stream then, I made this. Ah, is it? Oh, I've seen you somewhere recently. Oh, I got you. I didn't know who you were, see? There you are. So you finally got your hoses working then? I bet that was a bit of a pain to get working. A skin mesh then? Yeah, so that's what we ended up on, was building the chapel. And I've now moved it to where the sell point used to be instead of up there. I'm glad you told me that, Chris, because I didn't know what your name was before. I've just added you to the modders thing. I've opted to go back to placing fences manually. Okay, this one needs to be down here. Ooh. Okay, we need to drop these down a bit. That's still fine there. You can drop down more. What are you hoping to do? A better version of the pumps and hoses? Let's make it look like a dodgy head, shall we? I think we should be able to get away with that. So put this back. And then, as I was saying a second ago, we'll change this to meadow grass, middle, and I think it was mud grass. Like so. Gives it a bit more two-tone level. Okay. So let's go deco foliage. We'll do the mix. And we'll enable it to grass only. And I will add a noise onto it as well. So. Same with our weeds. Go with a different one. Makes it look a bit better. So if we go to, I think this is leaves, I think. Go meadow grass, middle again. Should be wide enough for cars. But then that's your car park there then. And in typical British fashion, if you want to stop people from going somewhere, you add a little berm. But you still have the grass open area then. Yeah. Okay. Now we've got the fun part. So get rid of all this. We'll create a new spline. So make a few splines now and bring them in. So if we start down here, this is going to be our stone wall then. So this one's not going to go as far. This side we're only going to have go to there. Ah, good God. Hey, to be honest, I don't actually mind too much. It could be worse. I could just not talk. Oh, that's cool. Is it going to be a bit like the firefighting game, where they've just added it where you can see the pressure going through the pipe, etc., rather than just oh look, you're full. Create another spline. Another tip for anyone who does make a map: don't rotate your spline, because it won't work. Well, it will, but it'll just go really messed up. Okay, there's that one. And just for ease, because it's so small. Bring you back up here. And press insert on you. Oh, nice. Yes, I have. Hey, that's the best way to be, is to make tools that just make your life easier. It's the only problem when you've got trees in places. Flies everything up in the sky. Shame you can't make like an update button. Do you know what I mean? It's like so you can just update it instantly in Giants Editor or Blender, depending on where you put stuff. But what can you do? Right. So now we've got some work to do. CSV 5, but I need to change you to be for long. Or short. And or curved. Basically, I name it just so I'm not second guessing what splines what. I do need to make the telegraph poles at some point as well. We've had some really bad rain this morning. Okay, that's quite cool. Huh. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's cool. I haven't yet decided what we need to do with the dealer. Might just have the normal hedge running around this one. Like this. Obviously up and around to there, but then along this hedge and out the front here have a metal fence. So save you, and we will load up Blender. When Blender decides to load, it'll be great. I know I'm tending to use the same file for everything. It has not rained for the last 3 months, so we've only just started having rain again. But now we'll have it for like 8 months. I didn't save the chapel build last night, so I haven't got it in Blender. So what stands, right? Okay. Back to the modeling part. So you need to import them in now. I'm a donkey at times. Where's there? This is a Modhub template. Can tell how to get it built. Oh, that's cool. You can't flame that. Right, stone wall. Stone wall. No, that's not what we did. What do we do? Wall long. Wall curved. And wall short. Gonna move these into a new collection. Be chapel walls. Okay. So you can see that's where it's going to be properly sat on the map. And because, well, or if we wanted it to be as ideal as we could, forgot to change the screen, sorry. We can grab the terrain, just to make it easier for ourselves, only have where we're going to be placing everything in. Export the selection, and we'll do it into map. We'll do it in here, and we'll call it terrain new. Okay. Boom. Right. And then if we go import again with this one, and we have the terrain in. I know it's minuscule, but you can see exactly where we need to place the walls. What do you mean if they're using a risky way to get the things working? Okay, so let's convert these to curves. Awesome. Okay, so we'll go back to the world origin here. So a typical wall width, what are we looking? I think the width we're going to be using at 15 centimeters. And the height we'll do 1.5. GZ 0.5. Leave it a bit in the ground. Then GX1. Then set the origin to cursor. Because you can, in theory, go like this and then scale Y out a bit. If you wanted to, it gives you a bit more of a thicker base. So, a wall texture. Let me see if I have a nice one. So I'll show you what I do quickly to get textures. So if I turn on display capture, we'll see. So this is where I tend to come to find textures, is either free PBR or you've got Polyhaven. They've both got commercial licenses with them and then quite good free ones. So have a look quick for a stone texture. I think that's the one. Or is it walls? Probably walls. Walls. Should have gone through walls. So basically, try and find something. That one looks like a contender, the sloppy mortar. That's where the house one come from. So we're going to look for something that's quite old, but usable. But looks like a church wall. I'm going to try and steer away from bricks if I can. Ooh, right, I like the look of this one. Yes, you can. So that looks like a quite nice wall we could use. What's the other one? It's the same one, but it's just got, it's a bit darker. Stony. It's a good blender. I feel like I already have it. I do. I've done this one. You just buy it. I think if we did 26, you'd offer. Yeah, so you're looking at 11, 12 quid. And you get 600 of them. But I just keep coming back because it's easier. Okay. I'm going to make a new one for this again. Freepbr.com. Okay, so we'll come to our shading tab. And node wrangler enabled. And textures down here, which is rock slab. We only need this one, and this one. Okay. So we can control a rotation scale. And then you smart UV project. Okay. You can scale it however much you want. Just try and keep the scale in it as what you think it is. So I'm going to scale it down slightly. And then I want to try and keep it where these stones are enough at the bottom. And give a really nice look. And then obviously with these, it's sort of trying to, you just line them up pretty much. Like the easiest way to do it is to press 2 and then you know exactly where each wall piece comes to. Like say with this one you can then move it to be this side, etc. Like say with these pieces, you're mainly just gonna match them up, and they should follow through. What have I done? I have a feeling it's the wrong way round. Yeah, just to make it seamless all the way through. Obviously, same with this piece. This one goes to that end or that end, which is fine. So take 90, GY. GX again. I think we've done the same here again. There. And now it all follows in properly. Bear with me 2 seconds. Apologies. Hello, welcome. Kids. So, another thing you can do to make this wall be nicer is you can round edges off, but we're not going to do anything yet. The same with this top piece. We just need to work out which one it comes onto. So that side comes down there. So we'll just move this down on Y. And then we move it across on X. It follows through. That's the main feeling behind all this. There's a small wall piece, obviously, but obviously because I've got the correct face attributes turned on, we can make this twice as long if you wanted to. What we look at. So if we go X at 4, so you've got 4 meters. Looks tidy, but we just need to make sure we get this out properly so we can just get it without stretching the textures. Yeah, 4 meters wide. Awesome. It does feel a bit thin, so we'll just open that slightly, grab the top, and we can make it a bit wider. Same with the bottom. Okay. And then just to center it back up, because I've obviously gone off slightly. Set the origin to cursor. This one, for some reason, I've gone out a bit. So you can always do this, select the edges, and then you can scale X to 0. That would give you a nice straight edge. Same here. Just select the whole thing and go scale X to 0, and it gives you a nice flat edge. Okay. Now, because we're going to have it on a curved side as well, I'll add in a few loop cuts just so it's easier to twist. I think we're looking pretty dandy. So, rotation and scale. Go back to our modeling tab. And because it's set on X, Y that way, we should be more than enough. So I'll just duplicate this wall and keep it to one side. Now we can do array. And we can also do our curve modifier. So for this one, we're going to use the wall curve. We'll start with that one. So obviously, it's now upside down. So we want to go minus X. No, why won't it work? Oh, painful, painful, painful. I hate it when it does this. So it's going to go there, rotate X 180. Yeah, and then we're going to just get our curve here. That is our curved one. We're going to snap cursor to selected. And then with our wall, we'll name this wall curved. And we'll snap this one to cursor. And you can move the height up and down as you wish anyway. So we're going to move Z upwards. There. So what I'm trying to get at is so we're going to have problems at the minute with the way the curve looks. Okay, it's going to be a bit sharpish. But if you come into wall curved, you can subdivide. And then you can select more points and subdivide it again. So we can now manipulate this a lot more than we could before. For instance, we can drag this in. Same with this one. You can drag it and manipulate how the wall will show. So any nasty parts that you obviously don't like, you can move them. Like so. This last piece we can just add an extra in. To your liking. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Okay. So there's our one wall piece done. You could go an extra one if you wanted. Just give it that bit extra, but I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna leave that wall piece. And then we'll rename this one to be template wall, so we can come back to it. So we'll duplicate it again, snap it to cursor. We can do array again, and then curve, and this time we're going to go to the long wall. I feel like we're going to have to do... Now this one doesn't want to play ball at all. So we're going to do control A, rotation and scale. There we go. And then we're going to go GZ. Like so. And then fill it up until our last point here. So I think this one's going to come through slightly. So you can always move your X slightly back as well. I could probably make it like that. I haven't really put any thought into making it into a placeable, to be fair, but I can try. So we'll see, same as before. The rest of the wall actually looks alright. The only thing I don't like with these textures is how repetitive it looks. But it's just one of them things. So you're fine as well. So we'll duplicate you again. We'll go rotation scale, array, curve. And now we're going to go for wall short. Go select wall short. Rotation and scale, snap selection to cursor, and then add one more. Okay, so that's our wall pieces done. So now we're going to go back to our template piece. Here. We'll duplicate it. Now we're going to make the pillar. So I'll move it back over. We're going to scale... Not really, I'm going to scale X. If we grab these, we can delete the edges in the middle here, because we don't need them anymore. Now we will bring this back and we'll make a pillar. Pillar should be a bit easier to make. So we're just going to scale these out then to bottom. Gives you a nice shape there. Now we'll scale it up on like that slightly. Not too much obviously, but just enough. And then with the roof, we're just gonna lift you up so you have a full block height. And then for these, then I will take the top piece, we'll shift duplicate it, separate it by selection, and then we're going to set the origin to geometry. Yeah, so basically I thought it'd be a cool thing to try and stream, mainly for the reason of it's a lot harder than what it looks like to make. It's not quite as easy as what people could think it is. So I'm going to scale this up. I should probably do that first actually. Scale it up so it's all equal. We're then gonna grab it, extrude, and then from there we're gonna inset. We're gonna lift up slightly, and then I know this isn't good practice. However, it's the only way I can do it because you can't do it as a normal way of doing it. So we'll apply rotation and scale. We will then unwrap the project, and it'll give us a nice thing. So obviously I'm not liking this, so we'll scale this out slightly. We can obviously make it lower as well. Really? That's cool. Okay, so there we are, we have our coping stone there. And then with this here then, if we do Control Alt and then click, you get the outsides. And then if we do Control B, we can give it a nice little bevel. Just to round the edges. And then with this one then as well, we will grab these. We shall mark them as sharp. Then I'll pick you and you. I'll do a bevel on them as well. We'll only do a one singular bevel on these ones just to give it that nicer look. So apply rotation scale, and then we'll do it like that. And I got the fun bit of dragging them both up. So the reason you can make the pillar a bit wider is then you can have this. So if we rotate it by 90 obviously, because that's the way we done it. You can see you got that piece there. And then shift duplicate it again. Like so. So with this one we can do a bit more if you wanted to, but it looks alright to be fair. The only thing I'm not liking is this, so we're going to select this one, which is the curved, and we shall apply rotation and scale, rotate X 180, and back off, and there we go, Z. So yeah, that gives us a nicer edge, so it's not quite as bent. So just do this just so it keeps it a bit more uniform. I've never thought of... I used to be the same when I first got into modern years ago. So, it can't be that hard. But everyone has my utmost respect with modern since I've decided to pick it up myself. Because I'm still fairly new in all retrospect. But I feel like people don't take in the amount of work that goes in. I think that looks quite cool though. Because I used to I love the comments that console players make, and it's just, yeah, no idea. I feel like everything that for them just comes off like the click of a button. So we'll rotate this on X slightly as well. Show this under stress from years. If you think about it, it's either vehicle design or it's environmental design. It's not an easy thing to do. Okay, so now that we're back on the stone walls and all, we'll apply all of this to make sure it's all in. Same as that, mate. Same as that. So, now that we have the rotation and scale set for all of these, we're going to add a little bit of life to them. So, we'll select the tops of each of them. Did I not put merge on this one? I did put merge, but there we are. Oh well, that's fine. Might be a bit more of a pain in the ass. They've changed some things in the new blenders by the looks of it. So, with these ones now, I'm going to go Control B. Just going to bevel the top in and add a factor of 2 and a shade smooth. It just gives it that little bit extra rather than a hard edge. Same with this one. Back on. It's just going to be a bit of a pain in the hoop going around everything here. It's done it in the 4 for some reason. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they're the ones that feel like, oh, why can't modders just get them on consoles? Come on. Well, you can't, because you have to go through rigorous testing with giants, and giants can be very particular with what they want done, but at the same time, they're also very slow at coming back to you anyway. So you could be waiting a month, 2 months to even have your mod looked at, and by the time you've had your mod looked at, you've already moved on and forgotten where you've put the original files for the blooming thing. So it does get quite frustrating. Well, when I first done my bunkers, I took about 6 months, I think, pretty much. From start to finish. And then the second one was about 2 months again, and I need to come and fix problems. I couldn't because I didn't know where the file was. Yeah, they're very annoying. I do as well, but I feel like this might be taken the wrong way, but when Giants looked at going to console players, I feel like they sort of tried neglecting everything on PC players and modders, and then it just makes it a lot harder. That's cool. It's like the ones that annoy me are the ones who are like, oh, I want this. Why haven't you done this? So I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot here, but we're just going to merge everything into one. So now we've just got a nice wall piece. Stop the scalpers. Set origin to geometry. Yeah. Awesome. So let's save that. Go through the Giants exporter. Right, where is building shader we need on? But we'll add 2 maps. And what did I call it? Stone wall. Building shader. Yeah, that's fine. Capital walls. Like, my computer is probably slower than a lot of newer consoles, but it does the job for me, and I can play whatever game I want, pretty much, within reason. Okay. Importios. And we need capital walls. And it should go, yeah. I've already forgotten something. Back here. Right. When did I select everything else? Right, for this, well, we've got 2 maps on it, so I don't really see the issue. We've got 2 different attributes there. What we got connected? No, you're fine. I need the coping tops, I need. I feel like I need to do get the coping tops here. I'll split them. And we'll separate the selection. Yeah, but then this is what I don't understand. They've all got doubles on them. So it should be fine. Alright, let's try again. So I've only got you selected now. Let's export it again on top of that one. Capitals. There we go. Right. Now we got material handling to do. Wait, it's actually come through as different textures for once. That's a relief. When you get like a gaming laptop, I know they're like silly things to say, but you can take it wherever you want. So you don't have to worry about things too much. Shaders, building shader, custom parallax. Do I have a height one for this one? Yeah. It's a very local one to me and Pam's. I wanted to add it as a bit of a touch to my grandparents, so it's the chapel I used to go to as a child. Okay, so that is done. Now we need to go on to this stone wall. And then we went with this one, I'm pretty sure. I say, giant, stop. If I'm on a texture, stop changing it just because I'd take off a missive. Because I've been thinking about getting a laptop myself, only because we've moved house and it's a bit smaller, so I haven't got as much space as what I did have before. Use custom parallax. And we will get the height put in as well. And just like that, we now have our stone wall in place. To do some hiding work because I didn't do it long enough. Comes out a lot darker than what I wanted, but it works. I think it comes out nice anyway. So in regards to gate posts, that's obviously a 1 point something meter. So this needs to be a double gate. What have I got on here? Oh, am I missing? Oh no. There's new beans and alpacas gameplay material available. I can't be asked to go download it. There's no embargo, but be ready to see some stuff. Okay, so obviously this is our gateway. Now we'll hop back into a blender. So we're thinking as a double metal gate. So this is where we're going to be working. So I think if we start with our cube, we can scale you down. Scale Z down to pretty much nothing. And the same with this. So this here is going to be our... I'm going to get rid of the terrain for now because we don't need it. So this is going to be our gate. Pillars. Where do you come up on there? All I need is to get rid of this section really, and I can see then. Do you want to work? So drag this just so I can clear myself of any views there. There we go. Just means I can see what I'm working on. Yeah, I'm just regular. I haven't got anything on them. What's the best way to do a gate for this? Because it's on a 2 inclined thing, so I can't have a hinge. Never mind, I could. Ignore me. So I don't want it to be too wide, so we'll just shift it on there and bring it in slightly. We'll add in a cylinder, scale to 0.01. I'll bring you over. That's 3. Control A, rotation and scale. Probably unneeded, but I don't know whether to do a double arch or just a bit of a sort of like a straight gate, but it'll be on an angle, or a slight arch actually, because it might be one arch with different floors. No idea. I'm making it up as I'm going. Okay. So with this one, we'll go rotation and scale. I'm going to add the rusty metal onto this one, just to make it look older than what it is. So we'll go A, U, and then we will smart unwrap. And that gives it a very nice look anyway. So let's go rusty metal. So we can scale this down. Shift it around. ID. Good thing is you can do splits, so you can also rotate this by 90, and then you got a completely different texture on another one. Right, so shift duplicate, rotate Z by 180. And we can have the hinges on the same height. It shouldn't matter too much, because you can just manipulate where the gates are going to be. But if we're going to be there, you're going to come... I'll leave it as that for now. Oh, what have I done? Let's get rid of the rest of this terrain as well, just so it's not in the way. So we don't need all this. Okay. So So we can add another mesh cube. Can I do this and then snap cursor to selected? No, use cursor. Okay, so move Y over slightly, then we'll duplicate and move the Y back to there. So it'll have the two gates in the middle. And we can duplicate you over again. So where you're going to be sat, which is there. But if we use the same height, we can take you down to somewhere like that. And the same with this one. So they're more or less on the same side there. This just needs to be center of that pillar. That's going to be like the final position, so you can still run my walk through. Sure, gates take the longest thing to make ever. Thoughts, right. But I obviously don't need that side because I know these two will mix fine. Okay, so we'll join these. And I know where everything needs to go, so we will obviously we'll snap this to world origin for now. We can manipulate it after. Other way, right. Start fresh. This cursor is going to do my speeded, so let's move you. Must have accidentally done something there. Yeah, there's brilliant. There's over 600 textures in there, bud. So we'll add you in there and you in there. And we. Probably a lot easier way to do what I'm doing. But there you go. Just like you and you. The bridge faces. Bridge faces. Zero twist. Okay. Oh no. I'm gonna have to do this my own way. Where I'm half tempted to be like this. We're just gonna have to. I guess you can't. That does something else, right? So extrude up on Z. It's the only thing I'm not the biggest fan of doing. What is the best way to do an arch? Because if I do this and then bridge edge loops, okay, I can work with it. I can't guarantee it's going to be pretty though. Good try. Can I do? I can. Okay. So can I grab all this, duplicate it. Oh my good God, Rod, what are you doing? I probably made this a lot harder than it needs to be. Bear with me a second. Oh, what have we done there? Wrong one. Hey CB, how you doing, buddy? How'd you get on with your bunker in the end? What the hell have I done here? That gate's on a bit of a wonk. We're making the chapel wall and gate at the minute. Yeah, so this is the gate I'm currently making for the wall there. So if I just go back to Giant Sea, I'll show you what we've done so far. So last night, you remember, I had the chapel at the top there. So now we've come back down and we moved it down here. So we got the chapel there, we got the walls built in all the way around, got a new car parking area, and it sort of looks like this then from down bottom. Now some trees and bushes here, and then currently we're working on the gateway that goes in here. So that's the plan so far, but I'm having a bit of fun with this gate at the minute. I say fun. Yeah. So basically, we're just doing everything as we should. And just fill in this gap. Slightly awkward to do, but we've got there. Just need to work on the arch a bit. Yeah, no problem, buddy. I hope you have a good day. Could add that one to there, I think. Okay, so that's our main, I think, section done. I might just take the roof of this gate and we'll make it a bit smaller, I think. Not too much smaller. Or do I go from the bottom? Bottom might be better, actually. Blender, stop doing this. Okay. Now we'll snap the cursor to selected again. We'll add in not a cone. We do not need a cone. Right. We'll add in a cylinder. Scale it to 0.1. How big do you look there now? Scale you down, Shift Z. Let's add a new cylinder. I've messed up on that one. We only need about 8 faces. Yeah, scale it down to 0.1. Okay. So we'll just have this span in the whole thing, I think. Like so. And then obviously we can use an array to go on Y. So we'll get it to go, how many do I have? 5? I think 5 seems like a decent one, and it's not too fussed on the way that that's going to work at the minute, because the main problems we're going to have is alignment, but easy enough done. Just need to make sure it's in the middle there. Probably could have done this all with array, but happy doing it my own way, because you can really make out where you need things to be. And obviously the height on this one's slightly big, so we can G and Z slightly down, and it should still be in, which is fine. To Z. Drag that in. So the bottoms of these two are fine. Just the tops. And obviously every normal thing with stuff. Hang on, bear shift select that and that. That. And that. And that. Scale Z. No, don't want to work. Medium point, scale Z. They all have this small little piece in places that just merge. Just to soften it up a bit. So I'm going to do it there. So we're going to shift select U, U, U. It's always hard with X-ray on that you don't accidentally select stuff you don't want to be selected. Move this up as well. So we're going to have a key with like a little latch. There. So I'm hoping, in theory, I can just go poof. Don't know how well. No, not well. Don't do that. Get rid. Get rid. Right. Back to the old wave journal then. Fill. We'll just select all the faces. That's one done. That one to that. That one. Don't know how accurate I am with this, I will be honest with you. But for now, I'm not going to add a latch in because they usually hold up by chains. So we'll just leave it as that. Okay. I'm quite liking where we're going. So we'll just select these two. We will snap cursor to selected. Shouldn't have done that because I need to merge everything down here first. Yeah, set the origin to geometry for now. Snap the selection cursor. So now we can start the fun bit. Oh, I did not think of this. But that's fine. Basically, what I need to do is to get this all to drop. Oh no, right. Oh, it's going to be a bit messy editing, I think. No, I don't need it to drop. Just need to do that. Really just need to select you to get our line. You. And bring you up. Where is that line here? There. Now we select all these. Went into full panic mode then for no reason. Slightly further out. Select both. Like so. Yeah, so the bottom's different, but it should look quite nice and tidy. This one, face orientation. I think it's all shown the same way. Tidy. I'm not too fussed on where it's sat currently. It's going to have to be slightly different on both sides. So grab our loop tool. Probably come too far out with it now. I know it's probably very dodgy the way I've just done that, but it's just something just to hold the gate up. Bottom one doesn't matter as much. Extrude on Y. Extrude. Scale shift Z. Oh, I did say extrude first. Okay. That's easier. So I just need to select this, and I need to switch that cursor to selected, and then we just move this over, and then we set origin to 3D cursor, and that you could open it as a normal gate then. Okay, fun side on the other side now. 1, 2. Flies are doing my head in at the minute. I can't wait for them to go away. Extrude, extrude. bed, extrude. Scale, chef Z. And then one more. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to add this as the rusted metal as well, because it is older and I want it to look so. But like I say, with it, you can move it so you rotate it 90. It's not as perfect as everything else. So I quite like that. So we'll save these ones as 1, and select on rotation scale. So that's going to be gate right. Gate. Oh no, don't do that, don't do that. Idiot spaz over here, that's left. Gate. Hinges. Okay. So I feel like we can have that done. Have that done. And we just do shade auto smooth on that as well. And let's export, yeah. Okay. I hope you've been seeing what I've been doing, because I've been working on that for ages. So I apologise if you didn't see anything. Oh, I can't remember what screen I was on. I'm hoping it was that one. So I'll do shared. I remember we don't have a normal for this, that's fine. Did I not have a normal for it? Did have a specular though, but we're not going to add it on. you please go away? Awesome. Awesome. So making progress slowly. But we've got our gates in. And you can also, if needed, if you didn't like the way it was looking, rotate it. But I think I'll keep it open for now. Right. What else should we add in? Obviously, graveyard needs headstones. That's something we can get to in a bit. In regards to this bit now, I was just going to do these hedges. Oh, floating hedge. Might work. I feel like that split's alright. Trying to gauge where would look the best for this stuff. So that's some variation, yeah. let's fix this road. Loads of things on. Now we got a weeds. Definitely looks a lot nicer up there now. Let's go asphalt. It's a bit narrow. That's right though. We'll then go back to grass. Try and get more of that rural Welsh feeling. So great, yes, let's add grass on. Limit it to grass. Oh yeah, because that worked. There you go. Oh, the fun. Not your typical. I feel like maybe we need to go like grass small instead. Ooh, that makes a difference. Again, don't get me wrong, I know it's going to overgrow anyway. I know that's going to happen. Like in game time anyway, but just for now, works well. Oh yeah, and then another light thing that we can do is I can raise the center of it. Okay, and now let's get rid of you and tidy this laneway up. Bit with. thought I had paused, but I do not. Okay, what did I do wrong with the weeds on this side? Making them a permanent feature by the looks of it of the field. Can always move these slightly out. Give that a bit more rotation. I reckon we need some bushes. Maybe medium and scatter them. And if we grab some smaller trees. That was a bit of a transformation for this morning. Obviously we're going to add some parked cars in as well. But then it also gives you the nice drive through from here then up and to the field. Right, let's go. Where do we go? Gravel small. I feel like I want to make the track with this now. Up, obviously. Hello? Ah, you're on plug-in thing. So bring this up here. Around, and then we'll go straight, I think. Go grass small. We'll enable limit to grass. Probably going way too over the top with designing this. Really. Feels like a nice little secluded area away. What does it look like from the car parkway? It's looking quite... I'm liking the look of it. I think it's believable. Just about seeing it in the background, it looks quite impressive. But I don't know whether to like move the some of the trees around. I actually liked it where it was before. Okay. Trying to think now, what else should we work on today? So obviously we've got the telegraph poles, which I haven't finished with. Right, where was it up here? Just there. I've just remembered about those blimmin' weeds. Every time I drive through, I hate it. Okay. Can you quite see? Oh yeah, that looks better. And then obviously when you're up above the chapel. Oh, there you are. Awesome. So I'm gonna grab this tree, because I want to put a few more just scattered around in there. Maybe there, slightly. Because obviously you can't out here, because that's where all the gravestones will be. I wish, mate. I wish I could get it that quick. So yeah, you got the back end here that looks onto the houses. And you got the chapel then hidden. In the trees. Okay. What do you reckon? Do we start working on this dealer? Or the petrol station? What should we work on? Petrol station? Okay. Is it weird that I'm trying to base a lot of what I'm making around where I grew up? Mainly, probably because it's what I know, basically. Okay, petrol station. Okay, maps. So I'll show you guys the inspiration, as per usual. Apparently I love this area a bit too much because everything I'm going to make, even the pub, is literally around the corner from this place. So, let me set this on. So this is the plan. So you got the shop, a bit of petrol station, a bit of a thing out the front. But it's only going to be that section then. So that's what we're going to make there. So, this is what our first build is going to be, is this here. Which is going to go in game style. Basically there. That's the whole thing. So, let's get cracking. So, let's export this back out to textures and we'll save it as petrol station. And again, just so I can make it a bit easier myself, I'm going to do one thing first before I export the terrain for it, and that is I'm going to replace the height of a lot of it down. I can model it a lot more accurate than rather than doing all the terrain work after. No, wrong one. Height here. Okay, so that should give us a nice area. So, select our terrain. I will export this one then, and P-station terrain. Save it again so we don't lose it then. Right, this one shouldn't be too bad. It should or enough be in here. So, textures, these two, import. So you can see where we got the road and everything then if I do that. So the only thing I hate with giant stuff is it doesn't always give you the best stuff. Like, come on. Why is everything separate? We'll ignore the part in the middle, but that's fine. So, we will set origin to geometry, and then we'll snap cursor to selected, and then we'll add a cube. Might go a bit wider than what I've already done there. Now bring it back, scale X, scale Y. Y can be bigger, rotate that around to there. Okay. So I'm going to export. I'll get this out then. Shall we say? I've just been talking to myself for ages. I apologise. But I'll be back in about 10 minutes. I'm just going to go grab something to eat. Okay. Oh, let's get cracking, shall we? Okay. So we got the main bit done. But I'm half tempted to say we just shoot this back. Let's add another cube in. We get the main design done first. Let's scale this down. I'll come back later on when I have more time. If we had... something like this. And then... well, the road's there. So if we scale that down... so the other way out there as well then. Okay. We did like something like this. Something similar, maybe. See, this can come up anyway. Can I duplicate you and shift? Similar. Put your way in to park there. Obviously unloading. flies. Really starting to get a nice trolley today. Something similar. So you have your way in, way out. move this to a new collection and okay. Try and keep everything together. The other way around. Oh, the joys. Obviously, these are double-sided. I'm pretty sure they don't just could just do something like that. Obviously, that's your road. Should be able to see it from a fair dues away. Might have actually gone a bit too big on my scale here. That's 2 meters. So if that's the case, huh? Right. Right, something's wrong here. Right. That can't be right. What have I done wrong here? That might work actually as 2 meters. basically, we just need this top piece to be 4, pretty much from 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. And then the 4th, which is there, is more of a square. Rotate you by 90. And you're slightly more wider. Okay. Pretty much just after. I reckon a 2-meter door is fine. Only slightly bigger. Hey Wilson, farmer, how you doing, buddy? I feel like my scale's a bit off then. see stuff. Right. I want to know in some cases how the heck some things happen. Probably have to come back and redo this later. Yeah, I think my best option is going to be redoing this later. So we sort of know what the actual plan is and how to go about it. So obviously I've messed up a bit on the scale, which is not ideal. But it's getting there. We just need this whole wall is ruined, basically. In theory, if I had a cursor just selected, mesh cube. We won't keep it too overly complicated. I'm pretty sure it's just me overdoing it a bit. Yeah, like there, and then we can pick the top to you. You there. We'll select the whole thing, deselect you, dissolve edges, pick the top one up. Okay. Separate selection. Let's delete you. Let's go again. The new section. Right, let's set to that anyway. Snap selection to cursor, Boolean, and all of you. Let's do it again. Actually, I've come to think of it, they've already been done. Boolean again, onto you. Wait. Okay. It's making it a lot quicker. Okay. And I think instead of trying to I'll do this instead then. That's probably looking better already, isn't it? So I found that I need to do this. Then Control A, then bring you out slightly because I need more of you. So we're going to inset it by 0.02. Insert 0.02. And then we're going to extrude you in then to there. Okay. So with the back piece, I need to make a door in here, say. So we're going to go there to there. Inset on X to there, then scale X in slightly and move it to the side. Now we're going to inset 0.02. I'll go in slightly. And this is just going to be a door. So we'll inset by 0.3. 0.3. And then we'll inset this one by 0.02. Extrude that in slightly, and extrude this one in slightly too, just for the glass. Then with this piece, can extrude it outwards slightly because it's going to be more than this one. Yeah. The only other thing we can do is add in a piece there. I'll add in another piece underneath it here, like so. I'll extrude this out to you because we have a thing that's a full glass, sliding door, storage. Cube. So we'll set this banner up properly this time. Let's get that. We just need it a bit bigger than that. do this way again to you. Done. We then need to go on you, boolean, to you. Give us a nice proper look on it. Now we got our banner. Separate selection. Drop it down a touch. Then we're going to pick both and they're going to extrude upwards. Don't actually have to do that for now. I think we'll leave that as it is for now, and we'll come back to it later on. Thank you to everyone who has popped in and joined me. We've had a good 3.5 hours done today. We've obviously done our chapel, but we'll get back on and do it more with this petrol station later on, and they'll all be going in this area by here. So I'd like to thank you all for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday, and I'll see you about 9-10 o'clock again tonight. See you guys later.